And entrusted his possession to them. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to a third 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. Immediately the one who received 5 talents went and traded with them and made another 5. Likewise, the one who received 2 made another 2. But the man who received 1 went off and dug a hole in the ground and buried his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants came back and settled account with them. The one who had received 5 talents came forward, bringing the additional 5. He said, "Master, you gave me 5 talents. See, I have made 5 more." His master said to him, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Since you were faithful in small matters, I'll give you great responsibilities. Come, share your master's joy." Then the one who had received 2 talents also came forward and said, "Master, you gave me 2 talents. See, I have made 2 more." His master said to him, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Since you were faithful in small matters, I'll give you great responsibilities. Come, share your master's joy." Then the one who had received the 1 talent came forward and said, "Master, I knew you were a demanding person, harvesting where you did not plant and gathering where you did not scatter. So out of fear I went off and buried your talent in the ground. Here is it back." His master said to him in reply, "You wicked, lazy servant. So you knew that I harvest where I did not plant and gather where I did not scatter. Should you not then have put my money in the bank so that I The Gospel of the Lord. My dear brothers and sisters, today is the 33rd Sunday in ordinary time, which means it is the last but one Sunday before the liturgical year comes to a close. Last week I explained that whenever the liturgical season is coming to an end, the readings tend to point our attention and our focus on the end times. Even as we bring this liturgical year to a close, we make an assessment of our spiritual growth, and we see where we are on this journey and what needs to be changed, and how we'll be able to render an account for the time that the Lord has given to us. But then at the same time, we are also thinking of the end time as the end of the world, or the coming of the Son of God. When Jesus returns, when the kingdom of God arrives in its final stage, where would we be? How would we be able to give an account of the time, the quality, and then the abilities that the Lord has given to us? So today, the church insists on the same theme of taking stock of our lives, of rendering an account before the Lord, and of the promises that are also laid out for each and every one of us. I'm sure all of us know about the gospel of the talent, that there was a man going on a journey, and then he entrusted his property to his servant. We are giving the servant in 3 categories. The first group that received 10 talents, the second group 5 talents, and the last group 1 talent. But then the gospel author is very quick to tell us that the master gave the talent each according to his abilities. He knew the servant. He knew their abilities. He knew what they were capable of, and he gave them the talent accordingly. We are told that the first group went out and traded with the talent, and then they made additional 5. They brought that and kept it until the master's return. And then the second group that were given 2 also went out and made an additional 2. But then the final group, we are told that they hid the talent in the ground until the master's return. And not only did they hand it over, they handed over the talent with words that are painful, with an attitude that is difficult to accept, and with a certain perspective in life that made it difficult for the master to really understand the servant and to really give the servant a second opportunity. He said, "Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you did not scatter. So I was afraid, and I went off, and I hid your talent in the ground." But my dear friends, let us keep in mind that there's the same master that trusted a servant enough to be able to give him a talent. Whilst he was away, he was expecting that the servant will be able to produce with that 1 talent. So having reposed his trust in the servant, he is disappointed with the attitude of the servant when he says, "Master, I knew you to be a demanding and a very tasking man." Meanwhile, the master knew that he was a servant who was capable of doing something. But out of misconception, out of fear, and out of laziness to expend his energy about doing that which is right, he is found wanting. My dear friends, one way of interpreting this gospel is to immediately link it with our life here on earth. That God is the one who gives the talent. We are the workers who have received the talent. Our time here on earth is the time of the master's journey. He has gone away, but he has given us the talents, the qualities, the abilities, the intelligence, every resource that we need to be able to produce something whilst he is away. And then the end time, the moment of judgment, is the end of our time here on earth. And then each person is expected to render an account before God our Father. It is very simple to interpret the gospel this way. And it is straightforward for everybody to be able to apply their lives to this gospel and to ask themselves, where do I stand? Which servant am I? And I'm sure that everybody in their heart would want to be that productive servant, the one who gave good results. If I received 2, Master, here are 2 more. If I received 5, Master, here are 5 more. But in reality, are we servants who are returning qualities, abilities, and profit to God our Father for the time that we have spent here on this earth, for the energies that the Lord has given to us, for the gifts of life that we have received, for the time that we have spent together, for the friends that we have had, for the opportunity to have listened to his word, for the opportunity to put that word into practice? Are we able to faithfully and sincerely say to the Lord that, Lord, here am I. Lord, I want to thank you for the gifts of life that you have given to me. Lord, I want to thank you for trusting me with that which belongs to you. Lord, I want to thank you for the family, for the friends, for everybody that has enriched my life. Lord, I want to even thank you for the experiences that were difficult and bitter, but then that have helped to shape me to be who I am. Lord, I come bearing my talent and bearing them with an attitude of faith, of hope, and of trust, and over and above all, of gratitude for your confidence in me. My dear friends, we are here because the Lord has given us this opportunity to be here. We are here because the Lord trusts in us. That's why he has given us his talent. We are here because the Lord expects us to be fruitful and productive. We are here because the time that the Lord has given to us is not meant to be lazying around. We are meant to be working, to be negotiating with the talent, to be trading with the talent, and at the end, to present our profit. St. Paul, when he writes to the Thessalonians, today would say, about the end times and about the seasons, you do not need anybody to remind you. We all know that our time here on earth is limited. We all know that our time here on earth is a gift to us. My dear friends, we are the recipients of the talent. We are the recipients of God's blessings. We are the recipients of God's generosity. We are the workers today in the gospel. And St. Paul tells us, you need not be reminded about this. It is something that you should know. For you yourselves know well that that day of the Lord would come like a thief in the night. When people say, peace, 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 then suddenly destruction. But he goes on to say, you are not children of darkness. You are not children of sin, but that you are children of the day, and that you should not be surprised by the coming of the hour of God. For you are all sons and daughters of light and sons and daughters of day. We are not of the night, nor of the darkness. Then let us not sleep as others do, but let us keep awake and be sober. These are the words of St. Paul to all of us. If the Lord has given us the time to be here, if the Lord has given us the opportunity to be alive, if the Lord has counted us among the living, it is simply because he expects us to be fruitful and productive. So St. Paul says that let us be awake. Let us not slumber. Let us not drowse away. Let us be people who are awake. But my dear friends, that spiritual alertness, that spiritual awakening, that spiritual sharpness is that which is required of us as Christians in utilizing the talents that the Lord has given to us. My dear friends, my advice is this: do not let us doubt the goodness of the Lord to us. That probably the Lord has been more generous to my brother, to my sister, to that friend than he has been to me. The Lord has given me what I have based on my abilities. And the good news is this: I am not going to account for the abilities of the other person. I am accounting for my own. So that which the Lord has given to me, that is what he would require from me. So unlike what the servant said, I know you to be a hard man, gathering from where you have not scattered and harvesting from where you have not planted, the Lord does not do that. The Lord gathers from where he has scattered. The Lord harvests from where he has planted. The Lord has planted in you. He has given you many resources, and he expects you to produce. So, my dear friends, we have no excuse. We just have to show up and show up with good works. We just have to show up and show up with works of quality. We have to show up and we show up with works of holiness. So as we come to the end of this season, the liturgical season, I do hope that it's a time where each and every one of us would have a personal moment of examination of conscience. Take some time off to reflect on your life. What have I been doing with the Lord's talent that he has given to me? But then each day that the Lord gives to me is an opportunity to work in his vineyard and to make more profit for the Lord. I hope that you will listen to the words of St. Paul. Do not sleep off. Do not fall asleep in spirit, but stay awake and stay sober. May the Lord grant us what we need to be able to be about his work today and always. Amen. Praise